The Sacred Sermon of Hermes. The glory of all things is God, Godhead, and godly nature. Source of the things that are is God, who is both mind and nature. Yea, matter, the wisdom that reveals all things. Source, too, is Godhead. Yea, nature, energy, necessity, and end, and making new again. Darkness that knew no bounds was in abyss, and water, too, and subtle breath intelligent. These were by power of God in chaos. Then holy light arose, and there collected neath dry space from out moist essence elements, and all the gods do separate things out from fastened nature. All things being undefined and yet unwrought, the light things were assigned unto the height. The heavy ones had their foundations laid down underneath the moist part of dry space, the universal things being bounded off by fire and hanged in breath to keep them up. And heaven was seen in 7 circles. Its gods were visible in forms of stars with all their signs, while nature had her members made articulate together with the gods in her. And heaven's periphery revolved in cyclic courses, borne on by breath of God. And every god by his own proper power brought forth what was appointed him. Thus there arose 4-footed beasts, and creeping things, and those that in the water dwell, and things with wings, and everything that beareth seed, and grass, and shoot of every flower, all having in themselves seed of again becoming. And they selected out the births of men for gnosis of the works of God and the attestation of the energy of nature. The multitude of men for lordship over all beneath the heaven, and gnosis of its blessings, that they might increase in increasing, and multiply in multitude. And every soul enfleshed by revolution of the cyclic gods, for observation of the marvels of the heaven and heaven's God's revolution, and of the works of God and energy of nature, for tokens of its blessings, for gnosis of the power of God, that they might know the fates that follow good and evil deeds, and learn the cunning works of all good arts. Thus there begins their living and their growing wise, according to the fate appointed by the revolution of the cyclic gods, and their decreasing for this end. And there shall be memorials mighty of their handiworks upon the earth, leaving dim trace behind when cycles are renewed. For every birth of flesh ensouled, and of the fruit of seed, and every handiwork, though it decay, shall of necessity renew itself, both by renovation of the gods and by the turning round of nature's rhythmic wheel. For that whereas the Godhead is nature's ever making new again the cosmic mixture, nature herself is also co-established in that Godhead.